Hey, it's Emil Ayoub, your realtor in San Diego, helping you make moves with confidence. I want to talk about buyer closing costs. A lot of first-time homebuyers are often surprised to learn that you need more cash than just the down payment to purchase a home. I'm here to educate you on the subject so you'll know how much you'll need to really buy your new home. And if you don't have the extra cash for closing costs, don't worry. There are other options so you don't have to pay this out of pocket. I won't go over that in this video for time's sake. Keep in mind, these costs I'm going to go over are just estimates. They may not cover every single item there may be, and the amounts will vary depending on the size of the transaction, the servicers, and especially if you're in another part of the country. This is a simplified rundown to give you a rough idea of what to expect. So here we go. So number one are inspection costs. And there are typically two main inspections that you're going to want to get, and those are the general home inspection, which typically runs around $400 to $500, and the pest inspection, which is usually about $75. So altogether, these will be somewhere around $500 to $600. And after the general inspection, there may be other inspections needed which will cost extra, like having a roofer come by if there is a concern over the roof. The number two cost is the appraisal fee. So your lender will require an appraisal on the property so they can know that the value is there. It protects you and them, and they know they're not lending $1 million on a home that's worth $900,000. So the appraisal will typically cost around $400 to $600. And the appraisal fee and the inspection fees are typically paid up front. So these are at the beginning of the escrow process, whereas the rest of the costs that I'm going to go over will be paid at closing. Which leads us to cost number three, lender fees. So these are costs associated with getting a loan and include things like underwriting, processing, and credit reports. These usually add up to somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000. And your lender will be able to give you a detailed estimate on that. Number four are escrow fees. So some parts of the country use an attorney to facilitate the transaction. Here in California, we use escrow companies. The main escrow fee is typically based on the purchase price. Then there are a bunch of smaller miscellaneous fees like courier fees, notary, etc. And altogether, escrow fees are usually somewhere between $1,000 to $3,000. Again, depending on the purchase price, it can go higher with more expensive homes. Number five are title fees. So the primary cost here is the lender's title insurance policy, which protects the lender in the case of any title issues. There's also an owner's title policy that protects you, which here in San Diego is typically paid by the seller. And these are also calculated based on the purchase price. Title fees will also include some other smaller miscellaneous fees such as recording and wiring. And altogether, title fees are usually somewhere around $800 to $1,500. It could even be more if you're looking at multi-million-dollar homes. And last but not least, number six, we have prepaids and impounds. So the important thing to know here is that these aren't really closing costs of the transaction, but you will need the funds at closing. So what you're doing is actually prepaying certain items. For the prepaids, you're prepaying the portion of your first month's mortgage interest, mortgage insurance if you have it, and HOA fees if you have it, that are owed from the day you close until the end of that first month. You'll also be prepaying your first year's homeowner insurance and also your share of the next property tax bill if it's coming up. And what impounds are they allow you to pay your property taxes and insurance monthly with your mortgage payment rather than a big lump sum once or twice a year. For many people, that makes it easier for them to manage. So what is happening is you're basically creating a reserve account and funding 2 to 9 months of payments from which future home insurance and property taxes will be paid. Again, not a cost of closing, but funds that are needed at closing to prepay those certain items. Now, these are hard amounts to estimate because they will vary greatly depending on the purchase price, what the loan terms are, if you have impounds or not, and even the day that you close. So it can be as little as $1,000 or it can be several $1,000s. Just to give you an idea, a recent transaction I closed with around $600,000 purchase price had prepays and impounds of around $5,000. So that is the gist of it. There may be some other costs like loan discount points if you want to buy down the rate, additional inspections if needed, other costs the seller may negotiate, and different companies charge different fees. As you can see, there are a lot of variables affecting how much cash is required at closing, so it's hard to give a straight answer without knowing more about your situation. To give you a general idea, here in San Diego, it is usually somewhere around 1 to 3% of the purchase price that is needed on top of the down payment. So if you want a more accurate number on how much you'll really need to buy a home, contact me for a free, no obligation consultation. And like I mentioned, if you don't have the extra cash for closing costs, there are options so you don't have to pay them out of pocket. For more information on that, you can contact me as well. So hope that helps. Now you are more knowledgeable about what it takes to purchase a home. If this helped you out, I ask that you help me out by hitting the like button and sharing this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and comment below to let me know what you thought, or if you have any questions. To search all homes that are for sale in San Diego and check out my other blog posts, you can go to soldbyemil.com. And if you know anyone looking to buy a home in the San Diego area, let me know and I'd love to help them out. Until next time, this is Emil Ayoub helping you make moves with confidence.